Hello and welcome back. Today is Friday, January 23rd. I have your 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the page. Hopefully, you're not freezing your balls off, or you probably are. Pretty much the whole United States is freezing their balls off. It is crazy cold outside. I still have to go warm up my car, so I'll be doing that currently right after this. I'm working from home today, so I got to take my time, make a little breakfast. I got to watch the little Derrick Rose. I was crying this morning watching the Derrick Rose highlights. I was watching the Taj, Kirk Heinrich, and Joakim Noah reminiscing video. I was showing my girlfriend being a good boyfriend, being like, hey, you got to watch this. You got to watch these highlights. I was like pointing at each one and telling them all about where I was when I watched them, but well, that's tomorrow. Derrick Rose Day is tomorrow. Definitely still up in the air if I'm going to be going to the game. The tickets are crazy expensive, but you guys are not here to hear me talk about that. You guys are here to me talk about 8 NBA games here today. We get 2 primetime games. I would say pretty fun slate of primetime games, but some low over-unders on the whole slate overall. Some low totals in this slate, and it starts off Houston versus Detroit, 216 over-under to Detroit, 3.5-point favorite here on Amazon Prime. I just saw Terry Eason is ruled out. I think Aaron Holiday is questionable. Still no Steven Adams, and I think for the Detroit Pistons, there's no Chris LeVert in this game. Cade Cunningham got upgraded to probable, and I think Duncan Robinson is going to be playing in that game. So these two teams, Houston's coming off of that back-to-back overtime game last night. That was a great game, but they're coming off of a back-to-back. Detroit has had a few days off. I think the last game was 3 days ago, so they've been chilling. They've had quite a few home games, too. I think they've played 4 straight home games into that game, so it should be a good one. Is it rust versus rest? It's the old classic debate overall. We get Phoenix versus Atlanta, 233 over-under. Phoenix, 2.5-point favorite. No Kristaps Porzingis in this game, but this game should be great. It's a great League Pass game. Kind of wish this was the primetime game. We get to watch Jalen Johnson, Devin Booker battle it out. Corey Crisper, CJ McCollum, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. We get some Dylan Brooks. Should be a great game. Colin Gillespie, Jalen Green. It should be a great game. I can't wait for that one. That should be a great matchup in that game. Sacramento versus Cleveland. I'm going to say it's going to be a pretty good game as well. 233 over under. I know the spread is massive. Cleveland minus 11, but watch the Kings just somehow out of nowhere make this game competitive. I know the Cavs just destroyed the Orlando Magic the other day, but that's just how the NBA goes. That game was close. This one's a complete blowout. They're still without Sam Merrill and Garland in this one, so watch somehow the Kings just make this game close. Maybe Russ a little triple-double action in that game. We get Brooklyn versus Boston, 216 over-under. No Derek White in this matchup. Low over-under game, though, 216. Boston, 8.5-point favorite. I think this game will be close, too. I bet Michael Porter Jr. has a little something to say in this game. And then I did see that the Brooklyn Nets double-teamed the most, so typically keep an eye out for Jaylen Brown in that matchup. We get Pelicans versus the Grizzlies. It's a nice little tank commanding game. 5, never seen one. 239 over under. No John Morant, no Aldama for the Grizzlies in this matchup. Grizzlies 5.5-point favorite. I think the Pelicans are pretty healthy. I think outside of Herb Jones is still questionable, so he's still consistently in or out. We get Pacers versus Oklahoma City, the NBA Finals rematch that everyone was looking forward to. OKC 15.5-point favorite, 226 over under. I assume this one's going to be a close game. I would say Indiana's going to try very hard. I did see a lot of injuries for Oklahoma City. No AJ Mitchell, no Caruso, no Hartenstein, no J-Dub. And I believe there was just ruled out someone. Man, who did they just ruled out? Am I about to do this on pulling up my Twitter? Aaron Wiggins just got ruled out. So definitely some key injuries for Oklahoma City. Andrew Nembhard has dominated this matchup. He's played defensively very well versus Indiana. Pascal Siakam too. But watch SGA just drop another 40 bomb back-to-back games. He's going to have a great game. SGA points through the moon. I saw it was at 32.5. That's just ridiculous. We get Denver versus Milwaukee, the late primetime game. Giannis versus Jokic, what could have been. This game's a low over-under game then. 218, Milwaukee 6.5. No Kevin Porter Jr. This should be the Jamal Murray, Payton Watson. Aaron Gordon, is Aaron Gordon going to be playing back-to-back? Still early from the injury, so maybe he won't be playing. Bucks, they will try anything to keep Giannis. This is going to be what's Giannis going to say after the game? No one's really going to care about the game during the game. And then Toronto versus Portland, sneaky late night great game, I would say. We get battle of the triple-double people, Scotty Barnes and Denny Abdeva, but Denny did leave last night's game with an injury, so maybe he doesn't play, but I haven't seen his injury news here today. They're showing him on all the books, but we'll see on that. Toronto, I think, is fully healthy. I think R.J. Barrett is returning in this matchup, so should be a great game overall. I got 4 brand new plays. Not great game, but a great slate. Some highs, some lows. I got 4 brand new plays here. And before we jump into today's plays, we got to recap yesterday's action yesterday in the NBA. Man, oh man. Fuck me, right? Should have just stuck. Overall, I would say I was pretty happy with. I don't really know. Kevin Durant, congrats, man. I hit that. Cunningham, he was short throughout the whole game. And that game was a weird game overall. So I would say that one was hand up a bad play. Klay Thompson threes. He banged 2 threes in the second quarter. I think he only took 2 more threes in the remainder of the game after that point. So that was an added play in the comment section. He fell up shy. Nikola Vucevic, I should have just taken him threes because it was a good 3-point, but I did points, and that fell flat on my face. And the Kawhi Leonard, man. Kawhi Leonard was super frustrating. He played less minutes in the first half than he normally does. Had 24 entering the fourth quarter, starts the fourth quarter, plays up until the 8-minute mark. So he played 4 minutes into the fourth quarter, gets pulled. He only took 1 shot in that, had an offensive foul. Then he gets subbed back into the game when the game was close with like 3 minutes to go in the game, and he doesn't take a single shot in that time. It was like, what the fuck? He just needed 1 point, finished the game at 24. That one was brutal, but overall, I say the Vucevic one should have just, that was a bad play. Should have switched to just threes for him in that game since he splashed 2 of them in that one. Cunningham, hand up, bad play. Klay Thompson right there overall. Two hooks, but man, oh man, that still wasn't great for me today. But today's a brand new day. Happy Friday. It's freezing cold outside, so might as well get hot with the plays here today. And let's just jump into it. For my first play of the day, going to be in this Boston-Brooklyn matchup. I know, I say I don't like to take take overs with totals that are low, but no Derek White. I think this is a great opportunity for Payton Pritchard, pushing P to go over 17.5 points, coming minus 132. On FanDuel. Definitely, if you don't see it there, you can go to the alt line. It's alt lines are open for them there. Normally around midday, they open up on FanDuel. But under the alt line, Brooklyn, these last 7 games, allow the 3rd most threes to the point guard position. And Payton Pritchard without Derek White is great overall. 7 for his last 10, averaging 24.5 points per game. With the last 5 games without Derek White, he's at 15, 22, 15, 34, and 42. And that 42-point game was this season against the Cavs, which was great. He had a monster matchup in that one, but a nice baseline of 15, and we just need 17.5 in this one. He's gone over 5 for his last 7 against the Brooklyn Nets, averaging 19.7 points per game. With the last 5 games against the Nets, he's had 23, 22, 10, 22, which was this season, and then 13, which was this season. Excuse me. So the last 2 games against him this year, he had 22 and 13, but that was with Derek White in both of those matchups. Brooklyn, the last 3 games versus Brooklyn overall last 3 games in Brooklyn, he's had 23, 22, and 22. So he's played pretty well in the Brooklyn Nets' arena. And the last one, 22, was this season against them. He's played 1 game without Derek White in those last 7, and he had 22 points in that game. Brooklyn allows the 28th most spot up shots to point guards, where Payton Pritchard likes to get. My God, I am off right here. Brooklyn allows the 28th most spot up shots, where Payton Pritchard gets 25% of his points from. So overall, he's a spot up shooter, so he gets 25% of his points in the spot up. And Brooklyn is 28th versus spot up shooters. Brooklyn is 26th versus transition scorers, where Payton Pritchard likes to get 16% of his points from. And they struggle versus ISO scorings, where Payton Pritchard takes 15% of his gets 15% of his points in the ISO, and they allow the 24th most ISO. So they struggle versus spot up, they struggle versus ISO, and they struggle versus transition. And they love to double team star players. Jaylen Brown's going to be in double teams all game, which is going to lead, I think, Payton Pritchard with a lot of open spot up threes for him in this game. Last 5 games, they are 22nd in allowed to straightaway threes. So those 2K hot zones right up beyond the arc. These last 5 games along the 22nd most straightaway threes, where Payton Pritchard takes 41% of his shots. So they struggle versus straightaway threes. They struggle versus spot up shooters, and they struggle in the transition, and they love to double star players. So I think this is a great opportunity for Payton Pritchard, who's the next man up with Derek White being ruled out. Point guards recently have had some massive games against the Nets. McBride, 14. Colin Gillespie, a similar player, 22. Trey Jones, 10. Kobe White, 24. Hardy, 14. James Harden, 31. Jamal Murray, 27. Sorry, I'm seeing injury news. I need to just put my phone on Do Not Disturb. As you can tell, I get distracted. Amon Thompson, 23. Reed Shepard, 14. Curry, 27. Melton, 10. And Emmanuel Quickly, 17. I would say a similar player. So they've been struggling versus point guards all within the last month overall. I have him projected here at 21 points without Derek White in this matchup here. 7 for his last 10 without Derek White. Payton Pritchard has been pretty great against the Nets. 5 for his last 7. So give me pushing P to go over 17.5 points. Come in minus 132 on FanDuel. Jump into my second play here. I'm going to take a sip of water because that was a lot. Don't you guys just love that I do one continuous take? I just love to do this one. I used to do stops all the time, and I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just do one live take after I type it all out and just go live after it. All right, jump into my second play here of the day in this Houston versus Detroit game. 216 over under, another low over under game. It's a primetime game, though. I always try to give a primetime game, and you know me, Chicago Bulls play whenever they do play. Detroit, 3.5 point favorite here. In Phoenix, they struggle versus pick-and-roll ball handlers where Cade Cunningham gets one of the most pick-and-roll actions in the league. I think this is going to be a close game, and I think Cade Cunningham, after having 3 straight bad games, is finally have a good game here. So give me Cade Cunningham to bounce back to go over 23.5 points, come in minus 122. On FanDuel again, Phoenix is 23rd versus pick-and-roll ball handlers where Cade gets 32% of his points. So overall, nice action for him coming into this game. And he has good history against the Rockets. 2 for his last 3, averaging 26.3 points per game. He's gone over 6 for his last 10 overall, averaging 23.5. With the last 5 games are probably why it's a little under, having 27, 29, then 10, 16, and 6 in these last 3 games. He's shot very poorly these last few days. But he's had a few days off, and Chris LeVert is ruled out in these games. In those last 3 games, Chris LeVert played in every single one of these games, and Cade Cunningham, without Chris LeVert in the lineup, has an 80% hit rate this season, averaging 27.2 points per game with 7 straight 25-point games. And then you want to know when that 7 straight 25-plus point games ended? Was when Chris LeVert returned, which was 3 days ago. And all 3 of those games, he had 10, 16, and 6 in those 3. I'm not saying he is the reason, but hey, he's an opportunity taking away shots from him. Last 3 games against the Rockets, he's had 26, 32, and 21 in the most recent game. And the most recent home game against them, he had 26 in that matchup here. Houston allows the 27th most points in the paint, where Cade Cunningham gets 28% of his shots from. So those 2K hot zones right in the paint, Cade Cunningham likes to do to lower the shoulder and do one of those post fades with both hands. He's ambidextrous, so he could do both fadeaways from the block, 28% of his shots from there. Point guards versus Houston have had some massive games recently. We just saw Maxey, 36, Trey Jones, 24, Russ, 15, Denny, 41. You want to know what all 4 of those players do similarly? They run the pick and roll a lot. Trey Jones with Giddey out ran the pick and roll a lot with Vucevic in that game. Maxey last night with Joel Embiid, pick and roll out. Russ, pick and roll with Renaud. Denny with, what is his name? You know who it is. You guys are say it in the comment section. Man, I'm spacing. Center. Whatever, it's not that important. But Brandon Williams, 15. James Harden, 29. Russ, 21. Dennis the Menace, 24. Jamal Murray, 35. This being a primetime game at home. Houston off of a back-to-back. They're down one of their best defenders in Tari Eason in this game. At home, few days of rest. I think Cade Cunningham can get to 25-plus points because I have it projected here at 25-plus points. So give me Cade Cunningham to go over 23.5 points. Come on, -122 on FanDuel. Jump into my third play here in this Denver-Milwaukee matchup, 218 over under. My next 2 plays will be in this same game here. Definitely keep an eye out in the comment section, or make sure to follow my Twitter at DaWiddler. I'll post them there as well. But these next 2 plays, I'm going with probably a popular play because Denver, they struggle versus passing power forwards. And without Kevin Porter Jr., Giannis has been a monster passing the ball all season. So give me Giannis Antetokounmpo to go over 6.5 assists, coming in -134. On DraftKings, Denver, they allowed the most assists to the power forward position these last 30 games. Denver on the season, let me double check. Denver on the season allows the second most assists to the power forward position. So out of 42 games, these last 15, they allowed the 11th, and then these last 7, they allowed 13th most assists to the power forward position. They've been struggling versus passing power forwards, and Giannis has dominated this matchup. 2 for his last 3 against Denver, with the last 3 games him having 5, 7, and then he had 11, and 11 was just a few days ago this season. And now Kevin Porter Jr. is ruled out, where Giannis this season has a 57% hit rate without Kevin Porter Jr. in the lineup, averaging 7 assists per game, 71% hit rate at home this season without Kevin Porter Jr., averaging 8 assists per game, having 7, 8, 9, 3, 18, 5, and 7 assists all in his home games this season. Denver is 22nd in transition points, where Giannis loves to play in the transition. He'll run down that court. They probably will double team or try to wall him off, and he should have some open threes because Denver, they struggle versus spot-up shooters. If you remember, we took A.J. Green three-pointers. He's going to have quite a few assists from Giannis in this one. They jacked up that three-pointers line, so we can no longer take it. Power forwards versus Denver have had some massive passing games. Jared Vanderbilt, he's not known for passing. He had 2. Keyshawn George hit his over. Zion 4. Giannis a few days ago 11. Jordan Walsh 1. Evan Mobley 4. A similar passing big, Bam Adebayo 4. Paolo, another mobile power forward, had 6. Julius Randle, another mobile power forward that's been passing great, 6. Flag 9. Paolo again 10. Miles Bridges 8. Jalen Johnson, another similar player, 16. And Pascal Siakam, another similar player, 4. I have him projected here at 8 assists in this game, so give me Giannis Antetokounmpo to go over 6.5 assists, coming minus 134. On DraftKings, you jump into my 4th and final play of the day in the same game, going to the other side of the ball. And Milwaukee, man, they struggle versus point guards all season long. It's been a point guard over day for me here today, maybe because of the Derrick Rose day coming here tomorrow. I'm just going point guard full heavy here today. But Jamal Murray, he has a great matchup here. He's coming off of a game where last night I assumed so many people got burned from him. I got burned by other plays here, but I'm taking Jamal Murray here in this primetime matchup to go over 26.5 points, coming minus 114. On DraftKings, the Bucks, they allow the second most points and the 4th most threes to the point guard position. The Bucks, these last 15 games, allow the 3rd most points and the most threes to the point guard position. And then the Bucks, these last 7 games, allow the most points and the most threes to the point guard position. And Jamal Murray, without Nikola Jokic in the lineup, has had a 60% hit rate this season, averaging 28 points per game, scoring 21-plus points in each game this season. He's gone over 6 for his last 10 games overall, averaging 28.1 points, 28.2 points per game. Yes, he has struggled versus Denver in prior games, only 1 for his last 4, but 4 games ago he had 35, which was an over, but then he's had 3, 20, and 17. Nikola Jokic has dominated each games in those ones. He had 30-plus in 3 straight games. Now he's out in this lineup. They need someone to pick up the scoring in this game. Again, 60% hit rate without Jokic this season, averaging 28 points per game. Road back-to-backs this season, 50% hit rate, averaging 25.8, but that doesn't tell the full story. The first 2 road back-to-backs this season where he had 15 and 24, 2 unders. That was back in November where he was ramping up from the season. The last 2 road back-to-back games, where both of them were this month, he had 31 and 33 points in those games. I love that. The legs are more seasoned as the season goes on. They need him in this matchup. 67% hit rate when Jokic is out, and when he plays 30-plus minutes, averaging 29.6 points per game. Overall, last 10 games, the Bucks allowed the 30th most straightaway threes, where Jamal Murray takes 30% of his shots from, so those 2K hot zones. Great matchup here for him. Bucks versus point guards, lots of massive games. SGA, 40. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 32. Bones Highland, 23. Melton, 22. Curry, 31. Russ, 21. C-Dub, 20. Ball, 26. TJ McConnell, 16. Mike Conley, another older statesman, 6. Dante DiVincenzo, 19. I have him projected here at 30-plus points in this game. I think Jamal Murray on primetime will have a great game and a great matchup. So give me Jamal Murray to go over 26.5 points, coming minus 114 on DraftKings. And those are my 4 best bets for you in the NBA today. As always, let me know down below what's your best bet. I always love to tell you guys in the comment section. Or if you guys want to make fun of me or tail me or fade me on some of these, please let me know down below. Yesterday was god-awful. 2 hooks in those plays. I would admit the Vooch play was pretty bad. But today, Payton Pritchard, without Derek White, I think he steps it up. Cade Cunningham in a tough matchup, but they struggle versus pick-and-roll ball handlers where Houston is one of the best, in where Cade Cunningham gets a lot of his points from. Giannis assists. Denver struggles as giving up the most assists to the power forward position. And Jamal Murray, over 26 points these last 7 games. The Bucks, the most points and the most threes. Hopefully, our guys are staying warm on this Friday. Long video, but fun talking NBA action with you guys. Hopefully having a wonderful Friday. Keep on smiling, and I will see you in the next one. Do I go to this Bulls Chicago thing, or is anyone else watching this video? If you're still watching, going to this Bulls game, definitely interested if you guys are or not. But all right, you keep on enjoying your day, keep on smiling, and have a good one. That was a weird ending.